What's up, everybody? Welcome to Unraveling with Rain. I'm Rain, and today we're going to be unraveling one of my most favorite books. I thought it would be fun to do a series on the books that I've been reading, or mostly listening to, because I don't have a whole lot of time to sit and read. But they center mostly around inner exploration, psychology, and nature. I hope that you guys find some of these titles just as exciting as I have. So the book that we're unraveling today is The Holy Wild by Danielle Dulsky. So the overview reads, Danielle Dulsky takes you deep as she explores and embraces sacred feminine archetypes such as Mother Goddess, the Crone, and the Maiden. Join her as she guides you to envision and explore a world that enriches and supports your spirit, body, mind, as well as our global community and Earth. Before we unravel any further, be sure to like and subscribe, that way we can keep exploring together. So now that we have the overview of the book, I'm just going to give you my personal testament. Within the first few words, not even sentences, within the first few words of this book, I was almost in tears. It was the first time I had experienced someone articulating concepts that I had been feeling my whole life. Exploring and understanding femininity, especially in our current culture, is kind of tricky and rife with pitfalls. But I found that The Holy Wild is a beautifully balanced tool to help anybody on that journey. At first glance, it might come across as a little whimsical, but trust me, as you get into the meat of this work, it is grounded as fuck, and in the best way. The Holy Wild is also brimming with journal prompts, which is fan-freaking-tastic. If you know me, then you know that I'm a firm believer that journaling will solve most, if not all things. Just in case you're in the market for a new journal, you should check out my newest edition, Nourished by You. It is a companion journal, but you could use it for anything. It's very open. And knowing that I might have played even a small part in your journal prompts if you decide to read The Holy Wild, my heart might actually explode. Like, actually explode. I first read this book a few years ago, but I always revisit chapter 10 air verses around this time of year. With the focus on love and connection, it's just helpful for me to have these words in the back of my mind. It really helps rejuvenate me as I try to balance my inner and outer world. It reminds me of what love is and isn't, how to cultivate a more profound and practical knowing of love, and shed any guilt or shame that might be clinging in this arena. I'm going to read you a small section of the air verses. I tried to pick a section that didn't require much knowing of the previous, and I hope that you enjoy these verses. The wisdom of the sacred masculine, learning the language of the hunter. The red-hooded widow is a wild feminine symbol of our longed-for integration, our yearning to synthesize the instinctual, individualistic masculine with the intuitive, collectivist feminine, in our own psyches, in our intimate relationships, and in the world at large. Even the most long-term relationships, romantic and otherwise, die many times in order to be born anew, and the Witch of Sacred Love understands that it is always integration we are after. The building blocks of the human community are souls seeking greater wholeness and connection. And once a relationship is no longer permitting that growth and intimacy, the union begins to wane in one way or another, for better or worse. My love, we must consider that the masculine has also been wounded by the ways of the world. The qualities of the father archetype are dominant in our contemporary society. These are primarily individualism, protection of personal property, and consumption. Any force that threatens the dominance of this attribute, in which our economic system is thoroughly grounded, is framed as a danger and consequently targeted. The mother, while the most valued aspect of the feminine for her generative production qualities, must remain societally subservient to the father. because she is holistic and collectivist in her thinking. While individualistic cultures certainly value the mother archetype less than collectivist cultures, the persuasiveness of capitalism has created global conditions wherein the mother's holistic powers are diminished. She is a community builder, a creatrix, and she is concerned with trusting sufficiency rather than fearing material scarcity. While the inner father is necessary in order for us to enact our work in the world, feed our families, and prevent complete lawlessness, he is a heavy-handed beast without his maternal counterpart. The witch of sacred love longs for the lost crucified attributes of the sacred masculine, with the hunter a particularly invalidated archetype in our society. The sage, counterpart to the crone, has dominated our religious systems since ancient times. He was a forward, linear thinker who, while passionate and innocent, fragments in order to investigate and explore. The crone sees patterns, honors the interconnection between all systems, and considers the spiral nature of time, while the sage ponders the ultimate destiny of our universe, the greater mystery, and the all-oneness affecting humanity. In order to better examine spirit, the sage has surgically removed the higher self from the soft flesh and loamy ground. Balanced spirituality reflects the unique soul path of everyone, the cyclical nature of time, and the merit of individual intuition. The missing piece in many sage-ruled spiritual systems remains. However, our connection to nature and the elements to learn the language of the hunter is not only to rekindle our relationship to nature, but to forge connections between nature and our most primal selves. The wild feminine has been wounded by the hunt, with healers becoming the hunted, and our precious wisdom pierced again and again by the arrows of consistent invalidation, shame, and fear of feminine power. You, priestess, are the witch of sacred love. And independent of gender or sexual orientation, this witch lives in all of us, demanding the holistic feminine be validated and seen without having to sacrifice her fiercer, wilder aspects, and the sacred hunter upholds the wild feminine at all costs. The witch is well-versed in the language of justice, and she wants more than anything for the subjected aspects of the divine masculine to be resurrected alongside those of the feminine. While the Magdalene laments her lost love on the shore, she understands that this was how she would heal, one wave at a time. The healer's road is long and unpaved, and part of our task is to strike a balance between directing social evolution and surrendering to the parts of the healing process that are organic and already occurring in our own way, independent of our actions. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I highly suggest that you pick up a copy of The Holy Wild.